So I don't know about you, but I hate it when I feel like my toes go numb. It drives me bat crazy and I absolutely hate it. And I hated it so much, especially in grad school when I used to be studying while working out on the Stairmaster. My toes would always go numb, but I could never figure out why.
It's about getting to the root problem.
Hey everyone, it's Dr. Heather here, and recently somebody asked me what to do about numb toes when running. And I thought this was a great question, wanted to share it with everyone here on the YouTube channel because as I've always stated to you guys, this channel was created for you to give you guys some great corrective exercises and rehab tips that you could do right from the comfort of your own home to resolve a majority of your pain symptoms. So let's really kind of dive into this one because I think you're going to find this is kind of interesting and fun, but maybe you might have something else to share on how you've resolved your numb toe issue. So go ahead, drop those comments down below because I'm sure everybody would appreciate even more tools and resources they can use to solve this problem. So now let's really kind of look at this a little bit further. All right, so here's the nitty gritty. This is why usually our toes go numb. So it is a direct result of pressure being placed on the metatarsals, those are your toes, over a consistent period of time, i.e. running. Doesn't quite surprise me. All right, doesn't seem too bad. Well, what happens here is the peripheral nerves really become compressed that the toes themselves go numb. This is one of those things where understanding when you get properly fitted for shoes, having that space in that toe box. Hey, kind of sounds like maybe that could be one of the reasons why your toes go numb. Let's take a look at what we can do to kind of really resolve this problem. So I'm going to give you guys 6 tips on how to really resolve this problem of having your toes go numb. First one, don't tie your laces too tight. Now that should be kind of a no-brainer, but yet, guess what? I've actually done that by accident. I got a new pair of sneakers. I was about to head out on the road and I actually tied the laces too tight where I was like, why are my toes going numb? Why couldn't I feel like my little second toe? What was going on? Sure enough, I tied my laces too tight. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, get proper footwear. Okay guys, I've stressed this 10 times over on the channel, but guess what? Getting that proper footwear is really going to help you here because not everybody has the same foot. I have a very small, narrow, flat foot, but you may have a little bit wider foot. Maybe you have more arthritic conditions around the toes that require you to have more of a wider toe box. There's nothing wrong with that, but guess what? Having the proper footwear is going to make a difference here with those numb toes. Number 3 tip, how does that foot hit the ground? Now, you do know I'm very big on gait analysis. I'm very big on understanding our biomechanics because it can help us resolve a ton of these injuries that we might be having. So understanding how that foot is striking the ground is going to help us have a better idea of why those toes might go numb, especially since, what did I say at the beginning? It is the pressure that we're feeling that is happening at the toes, at the metatarsals, and then the peripheral nerves are getting irritated, they're getting compressed, and they're creating that numbness effect. So let's take a look at that gait. Now, tip number 4, this one could be a little bit of a sad one because guess what? Our genetics play a big key in a lot of things. So if you are someone who knows there's a history of bunions, arthritis in the digits of the feet, the hands, stuff like that, chances are you're probably going to be a little bit prone to these things. And there's not much we can do from a preventative side other than looking at getting some cushioning, some insoles, maybe also too getting a little bit of padding underneath the ball of the foot, underneath the tarsal head to try to help in, again, giving a little bit more support, shock, absorption, as you're striking the ground. But I know for myself as well, arthritis is not a fun thing in the feet. So the only result to really resolve this one would be to go see that podiatrist and see if surgery might be that option for you. But again, if you do take a look at that proper footwear, hopefully we can resolve, that feeling of that arthritic condition that's affecting those toes a little bit more. Now, tip number 5 is going to be do not overtrain. So if you are somebody who, you've done everything up to this point, but you're still getting that numbness in that toe, it could be that you just need to take a break. You just need to get the feet up, elevate them, give them some rest. Because remember, we don't want to overtrain our body because it is going to just lead to other injuries like stress fractures and other things. So we don't want to do that. So really make sure that you're creating that balance in your training program. Do not overtrain here. Give those feet a little bit of a rest. And actually, it's not a bad idea. Give them a little soak every now and then. Put them in a little Epsom salt bath. Let them really heal, regenerate, and feel a little love and attention. And that leads me right into tip number 6. Give your feet and your lower body some love. One of my favorite things years ago was going and getting this pedicure post runs. And it wasn't because I really wanted my toes done pretty. It was because they gave me a 20-minute lower leg massage and it felt wonderful. I kid you not, it was the best thing ever. And sadly, I think the place actually closed due to the pandemic, but they were great. They really worked into, your calf, your soleus, your perineals, your shin, and then really work that plantar fascia. Getting some lower leg love is going to be a real game changer in making sure that the numbness that you're feeling really does dissipate, because they're going to start working that tissue a little bit more. Now listen, if you don't have the time to really go out and get, a pedicure or to have somebody massage your feet, dust off that foam roller and that massage ball and give yourself a chance to just roll out the tissue and give it some extra attention there. So these are my 6 tips for you guys if you are struggling with numb toes when it comes to running. But you may be getting numb toes just from like when I did on the Stairmaster or using an elliptical machine. All these things would definitely help you here. So if you have any further questions regarding anything that we've just talked about today on numb toes, or you have a helpful tip that I did not suggest in my top 6, drop that down below. All right, everyone, I'll catch you in the next video.